Hi everyone, Dark Ramos here with the Volume Profile Nerd, and I'm going to quickly go over the morning prep slash rundown for Friday, May 12th, 2023. So the first thing I noticed this morning is the divergence between NQ and ES. So ES is above its regular trading hours high, so potential for a gap and go situation on ES if we don't fill the gap. And NQ is testing its regular trading hours high now and from the underside, so it's a little bit below it. But we're still above yesterday's value on NQ, and we're also above yesterday's value on on ES. So these will be key downside references for ES as well as NQ, this value area high here. If NQ doesn't get acceptance back into it, I'm thinking it's potential for a gap and go on ES, and it'll depend if we fill the gap, but buyers will need to get over the overnight high to affirm buyers in the overnight session, because we made a new high in the overnight session. Same on NQ. So buyers want to get above the regular trading hours high and get above the overnight high to affirm the overnight buyers. We can see overnight inventory is mostly above the settle, above the previous day close, but it's fairly sideways, so I'm not gleaning too much from this. On ES, it's mostly above the settle, but we are getting some correction here in pre-market. Most of the overnight inventory was above the settle, but we are getting a bit of correction here in pre-market. So yeah, goal for the buyers is to, minimal gap fill on ES and get above the overnight high. And goal for buyers on NQ is to get above the regular trading hours high, stay above the open, and get acceptance above the overnight high. Goal for sellers on ES is to fill the gap, get back into yesterday's value here, get below the previous day close and the overnight low, then get below the POC, then the value area low here, and the regular trading hours low down here. No change for day plus sellers without getting below the regular trading hours low. And on NQ, goal for sellers is to stay below the open and find acceptance under the regular trading hours high, then get back into yesterday's value, which is pretty wide here. So get back under the value area high, then get underneath the previous day close and overnight low, which are fairly close to each other on ES as well. Previous day close and overnight low are fairly close to each other. Then sellers will want to find acceptance under the POC to tag, and after that, if we get acceptance under the POC, eyes on the value area low, and if under the value area low, value area low, eyes on the regular trading hours low. No change for day plus sellers without getting under the regular trading hours low. All right, so all about the morning. If it's multiple passes through the open, it could be low confidence, and we'll have to see, who edges out, around the open and things like that. But if ES doesn't fill the gap and we get a bounce from there, potential for a gap and go, so keeping an eye on that. But for me, NQ would have to find acceptance above the open and above the regular trading hours high for conviction that ES could be a gap and go. And ideally, NQ finds acceptance above the overnight high as well, which should help ES if XLF and XLV aren't too weak and are cooperating a bit with NQ. But we shall see. If there's rotation on the morning, that could be interesting. All right, so on the daily for ES, I'm keeping an eye on this POC here from 2-1 to 17.23. So from this range at 4179.75, if we do find acceptance, let's say above the overnight high, which is at 4164, if we find acceptance above the overnight high, I think buyers should be trying to target this POC. If back into this range below from 331 from March 31st through April 13th, back into this range, eyes on this POC at around 412775. Sellers would need to get below some hourly ranges before then, but that'll be notable if sellers get back into here. And I'm thinking buyers should be trying to target this. And we do have some hourly ranges on the way. So if we hold this value area high here of this 4558 range, this recent range here, buyers should be trying for the value area low of this range, and after that's the POC, which aligns closely with that daily POC I just mentioned from, I think, the 217 range. This is at 4177, and the POC is at like 417975, so relatively close up here. And if we pull back under this value area low of this, 5, what did I say, 5, this range here, 5.5 to 5.8 or 5.9 range, I'll be looking at the value area low here, because I think if we get back into this range, we should try, I think, to rotate to the value area low. But if we hold the POC and then do something like this, that would be notable as well. But yeah, just going to keep an eye on that. If we get back into the range, maybe, getting to the POC could be a play there, or if we hold it, kind of bounce and then up here. So yeah, this was kind of an important level for me this morning, and we'll keep an eye on that. And that level matches up with, the value area low of this range matches up with the regular trading hours high. So if we do fill the gap, I'm going to keep an eye on this value area low here of this 5.5, 5.823 range or 5.923 range. If we hold that, then and we get above the POC, hold the POC, maybe we could do something like that. All right, and the hour and on the daily for NQ, we are back within this 8.3.11.22 range. Buyers should be trying for this POC at roughly 13,600.25. So will be notable if buyers don't get there. If we crack under this range and do something like this, sellers should be trying for the value area high of this recent 331 or March 30th through April 25th range, and the value area high here is 13 to 14.50. There are some hourly ranges that sellers would need to get through first, and let's take a look at the hourlies. So if we get back into this range here, buyers should be targeting the POC here, which aligns with that range I just mentioned from 8.3, 8.11. On the hourly, that is at 13.597. So if we get above this value area low here at roughly 13.48650, buyers, I think, should be trying for a crack at this POC, which aligns with that daily POC also. If we reject from this value area low, eyes on this value area high from yesterday, which set the regular trading hours low, and it's roughly at 13.36150. If buyers can't get into here, I'm going to keep an eye on this value area high from 822, 826 at 13.36150. And potential we do something like this, but I think either buyers want to get back into here, or if we reject, sellers want to get back down here, which essentially is a regular trading hours low on NQ. And we would need acceptance above, we would need acceptance above the overnight high to try for a crack at that 13,600 level on NQ, which is up here. And again, matches with a few POCs on the hourly and the daily right here, 13,600, and the hourly 13,597. So keeping an open mind. It is Friday. Many things can happen on Friday. So just sticking to the technicals, letting price action and kind of the day develop and tell me a story to have conviction in either direction. But at least I kind of have a layout as to what I'm looking for and what buyers have to do to start going on the offensive, and what sellers have to do to go on the offensive. And whichever does go on the offensive, I then have some larger time frame references to see where buyers and sellers should be trying to get to. On NQ, it's either here or maybe here. Also going to keep an open mind, because multiple passes through the open could be suggestive of balance. This value area high here from 5.5, I'm going to say 5.9, got to update that, 5.559 is key for me this morning. If sellers can't get acceptance below this, I'm going to keep an eye on this 4.169 level, which is the value area low of 4.17, 4.18. So just going to keep an eye on that. Again, going to gauge relative strength and weakness to see which indice I want to play long or short. And just a quick sector rundown. So let's quickly go through that. So SPY, yeah, gap up open. NQ just above its high of yesterday. XLF gap up open. IWM just at its high of yesterday, testing. From the upside, we're testing it. XLE at the high of yesterday. XBI is middle of the road. XLV gap up open above its high of yesterday. XLU middle of the road. SMH slightly above the middle of the road, but a little more space under its high of yesterday. So we can see why SPY is a bit stronger. XLF has a gap up open. IWM is just at its high of yesterday. XLE at the high of yesterday. And XLV is above its high of yesterday. So that's helping SPY here in pre-market. And for the tech names on NQ, so Apple, a little bit in the middle of the road, just slightly above the middle of the road. Amazon, kind of in the middle of the road, maybe slightly above. Netflix at the high of yesterday, testing the high of yesterday. Definitely a lot of space for an hourly high or low on Netflix. Google, kind of in the middle of the road, a little bit higher than the middle of the road, I would say. Microsoft, at the high of yesterday, almost at the high of yesterday. Meta, a little bit below the high of yesterday. Tesla, strongest tech name with a pretty big gap up open. NVDA, and NVDA is more in the middle of the road. So we can see why tech is a little bit weaker. We only have Tesla, which is really helping tech. And Meta it's a little bit below its high of yesterday. But yeah, a lot of tech names kind of in the middle of the road. Netflix and Tesla, I would say, are the strongest tech names. Amazon, a little bit above the middle of the road. And Apple, middle of the road. And NVDA also, kind of in the middle of the road. So Tesla and Meta kind of helping QQQ a bit. Few big names more in the middle of the road, maybe slightly above. Netflix stronger. We can see kind of why tech isn't maybe as strong as SPY. Looks like XLV and XLF with a gap up open is helping SPY a bit, and QQQ isn't too weak, so SPY is doing well. All right, so we shall see what the morning brings. Again, just gonna let the morning kind of show itself and take it from there. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll do my trade review a bit later. Thank you. Later this evening. Thank you.